Now I want to talk about Tommy's video and why I was angry enough to post something so stupid.
It doesn't matter if Tommy made you angry. He didn't make you use a slur or tweet an image containing a slur. That was your own personal decision because you are 25 years old and still not in control of your emotions.
Tommy, you and some of your friends have been spreading disproven lies about me for over a year and a half. When I had false allegations made about me, it was one of the hardest times of my life.
It stands out to me as odd that one of the main accusers on Dream, he didn't show any of the proof for that person showed. Instead, he showed screenshots of his friends being accused, as if to say if they were falsely accused, then the allegations against me must also be false. I don't know what is true and what is false, so I'm not commenting on that. I just think it's very interesting what he chose to show and what he chose not to show in that previous clip. Because additionally, not only does that have nothing to do with Dream, so he doesn't need to be putting that in the video, but the video is supposed to be addressing Tommy, right? What does any of that have to do with Tommy? So then I'm sitting here having to pick apart this complete straw man argument. Like, I don't even know why he's bringing any of this up other than to weaponize it for sympathy points and to turn it around against Tommy, as if Tommy's the one who conjured up the allegations, but he didn't. And if Tommy was taking the side of the alleged victims, that is the correct first step to take. If those allegations were false, then of course it makes sense for him to take that back. If he was making jokes about it because other people were, then maybe you could say he was in the wrong. But show proof of that instead of showing images of other people like Bad Boy Halo being accused of grooming. If you want to talk about something, then you have to actually show receipts for it. Otherwise, this conversation holds no merit at all, unless you can prove that Tommy in it was slandering you.
You and your friends decided that after I went through the hell of debunking them, that you would continue to spread, joke about, and support these lies. Don't believe me that you've been doing this? Let's just hear your own best friend confirm that this has been happening.
I get why he might be mad about the lies. That group being like, he's a pedophile all the time, which again, I don't like. I think we shouldn't joke about people being pedophiles unless we actually know for sure. Because, dude, the Brighton lot, I want to stop throwing out random strays and calling people pedophiles just for cheap laughs.
As you guys know, I made a video debunking those allegations, and after my video, the accusers even came forward and admitted that they were not true. I thought that would be the end of it, but for some reason, you and your friend group thought that you would kick me while I was down.
I genuinely think the friend group needs to stop calling Dream a fucking pedophile for cheap laughs. It's stupid to repeatedly call Dream a pedophile when it's not the case.
Him showing Tubbo agreeing with him doesn't really prove anything. You still need to show actual receipts of Tommy doing what you're accusing him of doing, even if Tubbo says it's happening. But Tubbo also says that it was being done for cheap laughs. So if it's a joke, then it's obvious to the people that he's telling the joke to, which are his friends, because they also don't like Dream. There was a time where the culture was to be making those kinds of jokes about Dream all of the time. And I'm not going to say that that's appropriate to be making those kinds of jokes about people if they're not true, but again, Tommy was no longer friends with Dream at this point, and Dream is in no position to be throwing a fit about this because he has made equally as offensive jokes about people while he was still friends with them, and he has made equally as offensive jokes afterward, which is why this video is even being made, because he used the R word, and he's just using what Tommy may have joked about as some kind of excuse to make the kind of joke that he made, even though he's saying that that's not what he's doing. It obviously is, otherwise this video is unnecessary. It's for the sole purpose of getting sympathy from his fans. He's just sat here, throwing Tommy under the bus and throwing a whole little pity party, trying to turn it around, like he's some kind of victim in all of this after what he did. This whole situation could have been avoided entirely if he didn't tweet that. So I'm starting to think he did it on purpose, just so drama would be stirred up, so people would be talking about him again, so he could make another video and get a bunch of views on it from people that wouldn't normally watch his videos. Because we're not in the year 2020 anymore, and most people don't care about Dream anymore. His old friends moved on, his old fans moved on, and now he's desperately clinging to relevancy. And the only way he knows how to do that is by causing drama and being controversial, because Dream doesn't know how to be a good person. He only knows how to pretend to when it's convenient.
In your stream you slagged off a lot of my pals. Come on, mate. I mean, my friends are all idiots, but they have bloody good hearts.
You're mad that I criticized your friends.
No, I think he's frustrated that all this time has gone by and you're still thinking about him, and you're still tweeting offensive things about him, and you're still bothering his friends and trying to expose people instead of just getting over the fact that these people don't like you and the past is the past and you need to grow up. Tommy's video is his way of saying, dude, you need help, leave me and my friends alone.
In a 3-hour-long live stream with screenshots and receipts.
People will call anything receipts these days. All you're doing is showing old conversations from when you guys were still friends, where you were very clearly emotionally manipulating a 16-year-old as a fully adult man. I don't know why you think this is some big gotcha moment, because it isn't. You wasted 3 hours of Tubbo's time emotionally manipulating him, trying to get sympathy out of him, so you could use that clip earlier in the video to try and make Tommy look bad.
Of their not so good behavior, so you just make stuff up about my friends?
I have no reason to believe that Tommy is the one making stuff up. Dream is the one that's the notorious liar of the two of them. I believe Tommy is simply speaking anecdotally about the behavior he's witnessed from you and your friends behind closed doors.
I mean, you didn't have a problem interviewing Sapnap in one of your videos recently.
Recently? 5 months ago is recent to you? That's almost half a year ago. He probably still considered Sapnap a friend at the time, and he wasn't trying to make some kind of 3-hour-long expose like you. It was a 9-second clip. I'll play it here.
Do you have anything that you need fixing, my friend?
No, not at the current moment in time.
I'm a therapist, I can help.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
That's it. That's literally it. Sapnap was not in any more of the video, except for that clip right there. Tommy was very clearly making a joke, unlike what Dream did.
Sapnap! Well, Sapnap, you see, today I'm no longer Tommy Innit, famed Minecraft YouTuber. I'm actually Professor Respect.
That's the clip that Dream shows in his video, and I'm not really sure where he got it from. So, the video that I had was 5 months old. The video that he has could be from even further back. Additionally, I don't know about you, but in the previous clip, Sapnap looked pretty happy to be there, if not just a little confused. But in this next clip, Dream captions it in a way to try and control the narrative and make it seem like Sapnap was uncomfortable, but I just got the vibe that he was confused.
Okay, well, good to see you.
In the clip I showed, Tommy refers to Sapnap as, quote, my friend, so obviously they were still friends at the time. He even says, good to see you, in the clip that Dream showed, which in my opinion is very different than Dream's intent with his extended interview with Tubbo.
Oh, and you tried to interview George, but he walked away because he didn't want to be in your video.
I have no way of verifying that Tommy actually ever tried to interview George just because he was in that clip for a split second in the background. This is just Dream trying to take another dig at Tommy for no reason.
So there's two options. Either 1, they're not bad people, or 2, you don't care enough to not profit off of them.
Or 3, he was giving them the benefit of the doubt and excusing any of their previous bad behavior as genuine mistakes because he was clearly still friends with Sapnap at the time based off of his language that he used toward him, and it was, again, at least 5 months ago. People's opinions of others can change. I'm a similar age to Tommy. I used to be friends with a girl for 7 years before I looked back and realized all the bad behavior she had gotten away with because I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. This stuff happens when you're dealing with manipulative people, like you, Dream, who is using an older video of Tommy's from when he was still friends with Sapnap, and trying to say that Tommy is money hungry for doing a couple-second interview with him. What does that say about you trying to do your 3-hour-long video with Tubbo, as well as this video now that you're making on Tommy, who you are very clearly, current day, not friends with? It's very different. And it's not like I need to say that. You know the truth. You're just pretending to believe all the nonsense you're saying for your young and impressionable audience who still does believe you, whatever's left of
Like, you'll be best friends with Logan Paul in private, but then the second it becomes beneficial for people to think that you don't like him, then all of a sudden you have a problem with all those shitty things that he's done.
I really don't have to repeat myself on this, do I? You looked up to him. He changed his mind once he saw clearly what he couldn't see before because people like him and you are manipulative. Yeah, he was friends with him in 2023, but not 2024. Believe it or not, people can change in a year. In 2023, people already didn't like Logan. People haven't liked Logan for years, so it has nothing to do with what the public thinks. It was never good for his reputation to be associated with Logan. He liked him for reasons that obviously are unrelated to his controversies.
4 years ago, you were awful to me. When I was 16, you gave me YouTube advice, and you held that over my head for years.
Does Tommy look like he's lying here? In my understanding, I'm assuming he means Dream held it over his head in private to get him to collaborate with him or keep secrets for him or some other third thing. Again, in private. Manipulation in private. Or actually what probably happened is when they were having disagreements, he would use it as justification to be like, no, I am a good person because I helped you, and now you're getting upset at me for my behavior? Which is exactly what he's about to do in the next clip. Emotional manipulation. First toward the audience, to be like, look, I'm such a good guy, and then he directly addresses Tommy.
I gave you YouTube advice because I thought that you were extremely talented, hardworking, and you had a big dream to be a YouTuber.
Now he's trying to get brownie points from the audience by saying nice things about Tommy, while making digs at him throughout the entire video.
And that's why with no expectation, we called for hours a day.
That line is once again to make himself seem generous and virtuous, but also to fluff himself up and boost his ego, and subtly, not so subtly, let the audience know that he thinks he really did help Tommy a lot, and maybe he did. But it's still more manipulation, and also it's like he's implying that he's the reason why Tommy's as successful as he is, because he thinks he deserves more credit than Tommy gives him. But he knows he can't say that because people will argue with him and it's not a good look. So instead, he implies it here with manipulative language.
Talking about YouTube, strategies, and ideas.
Of course he feels the need to mention the specific ways in which he helped. But no, not because he had any alternative reason for it. Not because he wanted any credit. That's totally not why he's bringing it up now.
And I never held this over your head.
Yeah, you're right, Dream. You're doing a really good job at not holding that over his head. How much you helped him for hours a day, and what you helped him with.
Most people hearing that I helped you at all are probably hearing this for the first time.
Again, he said that you held it over his head, not that you were boasting about it publicly until now. So behind closed doors, you were probably using it to get away with certain behavior that he didn't approve of, aka manipulation.
Dream's awesome. He should, like, probably for the past, 8 months, once a week, me and Dream will have, a 2-hour call. And he just helps.
Dream says that most people probably didn't even know, and then he proceeds to show a clip from several years ago when Tommy was a teenager, praising Dream for helping him when they were still friends. So which is it, Dream?
Tommy, there's no way that you actually believe this.
Emotional manipulation again.
Saying I was so terrible to you, with no examples or anything?
He did provide examples, he just didn't provide proof. Because first of all, he has tweeted that he is sick of you sharing private messages between the two of you, so he would be a hypocrite to do the same. And second of all, as you showed in your video, most of the time you guys talked over call. So if you were holding things over his head, like how you helped him, which is an example he provided, he would not be able to prove it unless he was recording your guys' phone calls, which he wouldn't have done when you guys were friends, unless he had any reason to, like he was going to use it against you later. So since he doesn't have that, then obviously he wasn't planning any premeditated attacks. Whereas you, if you knew you were being manipulative, and you knew you were the kind of person to pull up screenshots, you wouldn't be texting him those manipulative things, you would be saying it on your several hour-long phone calls. Wouldn't you, Dream?
Like, if you don't think that my intention was to help you, then what was my intention? Why did I do all of that?
More emotional manipulation and trying to seem innocent. Let me remind you that all of this drama started up again because Dream tweeted out a picture calling Tommy Innit fans the R word. You're mad at me for my bad behavior? What about the things I did that weren't bad? He's trying to distract from it as if it negates the fact of the matter, and it does not.
I'm not just selling USB baby photos or lazily designed merchandise, alright? I'm doing the best with what I have.
Tommy, you say that like it's a slight on me, when my entire merch brand was built by my family.
Emotional manipulation, entirely irrelevant. If merch is shitty, then it's shitty. He should be allowed to say that. I don't care if it was your mother's dying wish to make that merch. If it sucks, then you're doing a disservice to your fans. It's not like he can't afford to make better stuff. So there's no point in having your family make it. So that calls into question why you're having them do that.
And this also let me make sure that all of my fans had a good merch experience.
Please elaborate how that helped you make sure your fans had a good merch experience, when that is literally the exact opposite of what everyone says about your merchandise.
That is really cool.
I didn't make the most money that way, but I'm happy that I did it. Tommy,
First of all, boo-hoo that you didn't make as much money. Second of all, how does it cause you to make less money? And third of all, you showing Tommy getting specialized merch is a manipulation, and probably why you gave him personalized merch, so you could hold that over his head too.
we went with a merch company that actually had some really cool designs, with some very hardworking child laborers to make it possible. Unfortunately, that company also scammed a bunch of his viewers, and multiple of his creator friends got scammed and literally never got paid, and the company went bankrupt.
The biggest creators in the world are at the center of a scam, and I don't know if I should talk about it. The biggest creators in the world are at the center of a scam, and I don't know if I should talk about it.
Some have been defrauded.
This is just another attempt to make Tommy look bad by showing something that has nothing to do with anything that wasn't even his fault. Obviously, if he knew that there was child labor involved, he wouldn't be working with that company, and neither would any of the other big content creators, if not for morals, then for their public perception, because if they knew, then obviously their fans would find out too. So they didn't know, and it wasn't just Tommy, as he showed with the CoffeeZilla clip. Strawman argument? Dream?
Unfortunately, after the false allegations that Tommy perpetuated, my family merch company did struggle. So if you'd like to support it,
Oh, shut up. Oh my goodness. Emotional manipulation, promoting his shop. Oh my goodness.
I'm happy making videos with my friends. That's what I've always done. And I'm a coder, and I code cool new Minecraft mods.
Hey, who asked? Clap if you care. Clap if you care.
And make everything for my channels by myself.
That is provably false. There is evidence out there of Sapnap and George helping him, and all the people helping him by being in his videos, by the way. But I'm not even going to dissect that because I don't care.
Like, I edit my own videos.
Yeah, because you're some kind of control freak who doesn't want anything you say that's bad to get put in because you want to carefully craft a narrative. Do you want a cookie? I edit my videos too. Congratulations, buddy.
I'm sure Tommy can knock out videos pretty quick because at one point he had a literal editor sweatshop.
First of all, that's not what the word literal means. It is not a literal editor sweatshop. And second of all, the top says that the screenshots below are in reference to his friends, and you're also using manipulative language by being like, oh, these are his, quote, friends with big hearts that he was talking about. It's also noteworthy that you're choosing to use language like literal editor sweatshop because, since that's a lie, it's also able to be considered defamation of character and not to be that guy, but that is a crime, by the way.
Where his editors made less than minimum wage, and we're also getting fans to edit the videos for free for them.
I can't comment on how true any of that is, so that's impossible for me to verify. He doesn't even show Tommy's name, or any name that would be recognizable, but second of all, people willingly doing it for free is called volunteer work. Also, you said he used to, as in he no longer does, so it's entirely irrelevant to bring up right now. Why are we even talking about editing? You're just saying whatever. Oh, that's right. I know why we're talking about editing. He segued on purpose so he could find another thing to shit talk Tommy for and throw him under the bus. Cause he was like, oh, I work so hard on my videos, just like you, Tommy, except I do my own editing. I bet you knock out videos really fast because you have had people do your editing for free. In the past, who, by the way, he said were fans of his. That's called volunteer work, buddy, because they wanted to be a part of what Tommy does. So they could say like, hey, I edited that. It's not a sweatshop. That's more manipulative language. These people weren't forced to make anything for him.
But to each their own. Everyone has a different style of YouTube. I don't get the high and mighty.
Oh, please. You of all people should know about being high and mighty. That's like your whole forte, is trying to act like you're better than anybody who calls you out on anything ever. That's what you do.
Like, it's not just in this video. Recently, Tommy's been emboldened that he is the savior of YouTube or something.
So I was walking down the street and I thought to myself, oh man, this internet ain't so well.
Sorry, is that clip supposed to be your evidence? Because that proves nothing. Show me a real clip where Tommy's acting like he's the, quote, savior of YouTube, and I'll show you someone who doesn't know how to take a joke.
But then Tommy says something I don't even know what. Just listen to this.
You harassed my mum as she was going through a divorce. The worst time of her life. You are like a proper movie villain.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna reveal to you this harassment. The proper movie villain harassing of Tommy's mom that I did.
Before I show you, just picture in your mind the harassment. Here it comes.
Is that not an essay? His mom didn't ask. She doesn't care about your opinion. Leave the woman alone.
Just thought I'd let you know that I don't agree with lots of people replying to you, and I don't want you to be attacked at all.
Okay, how does that help her? Why don't you tweet to people to tell them to stop harassing her? You're so trigger happy to tweet about drama to defend yourself, but not to defend Tommy's mom. You have to take it to the DMs? Because it's not about that, is that? You just want to bitch about her son.
Singular message on Twitter letting her know that I didn't agree with my fans that Tommy's portrayal of my stutter was ableist.
And then you proceeded to tell her everything you think Tommy did do incorrectly or wrong. You are cherry picking. You didn't need to DM her in the first place to complain about her son. You just didn't need to do that. The end.
But also letting her know that I didn't like the rest of the video because it was causing additional harassment for me that I was already getting because this was at the peak of the allegations. And Tommy, of course, didn't show any evidence for any of this stuff because it makes it look ridiculous if he did.
No, it makes you look ridiculous. He would be a hypocrite if he was showing your text messages because he wants you to stop showing his. The difference is, he was making this video to tell you that because he has you blocked on everything and he doesn't want to unblock you and have a private conversation. He doesn't feel the need to show screenshots because if you were the one that sent the texts, then you should know what he's talking about. He's not trying to make an expose with evidence against you. And the reason why you do not understand that is because that is what you are trying to do to him with your video.
The way he words that, you would think I spammed his mom's phone for weeks with slurs and—
Who said that? Who would assume that you were saying slurs at his mother? It's not like you have a pattern of using slurs or anything.
and that I was some evil overlord, not a content creator helping you out with advice.
Good thing he's not holding the fact that he helped him over his head. Good thing he's not doing that. You know, he's only mentioned it like 200 times. I don't think that's enough. I think he needs to mention it a couple more times before he ends the video.
Everything else about my channel, you can thank Dream for.
Oh, okay, he does. Okay, we're good. See, I almost forgot. Sorry, did he help him? Cause like, I think I'm already starting to forget again.
Oh, Dream's such a good guy, man. I feel bad because in 2020 I gave him so much shit always. It was like my, you know, in the friend group, the guy that you make fun of a bit too much. That was Dream. I was just always taking the piss.
Do you think Dream included that clip A, to make Tommy look bad, B, to make himself look good, C, to gain sympathy points, or D, all of the above?
Leaving up videos with my sister and mom, and of course dozens with me.
Yeah, who cares? You're literally still profiting off of him by making this long video. Is he supposed to sift through videos that are 3 and 4 years old to get rid of any of them that have you in it? That's ridiculous. He'd be stupid not to want to make money off of that time in his life where he was being manipulated by you. That doesn't mean that he doesn't stand by his word.
Do you feel strongly enough to make an entire dedicated video on your channel?
That video is 6 minutes long. Actually, it's less than that. I'm sure it took him so much time to make such a dedicated video where he turns on his camera, sits in his chair, talks for a few minutes. Your video is twice as long, which doesn't seem that bad, except for the fact that you admitted in this video that you edit your own videos. And this video has a lot of heavy editing, so it must have took you a lot of time.
Hating on me, you can go ahead and take down every video of yours that I'm in, and I'll take down every video of mine that you're in. Because if you have a backbone, you wouldn't want to show support to such a no good person.
Once again, more manipulation, and also, he's not showing support for you by having old videos that you were in. He will lose money if he takes those videos down, and you know that.
And Tommy, you mentioned being proud of yourself. I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of everything that you've accomplished. But you don't need to put other people down to lift yourself up. You are talented enough on your own. Happy New Year.
That's obviously not what he's trying to do. Did you forget that you started it? Again, he's trying to paint himself out to be a good person, and it's very ironic of him to say something like, you don't need to put others down to feel better about yourself or whatever, when, mind you, again, he tweeted calling Tommy Innit fans the R word. And I'm sure there are countless other instances of him putting other people down. At the end of the day, Dream is not a better person than Tommy, and it's really funny watching him try to twist everything like he's some kind of victim in all of this. That's all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Oh, and I worked pretty hard on this video, so please like, comment, and subscribe.